Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio in downtown La Mesa, California, above Public Square Coffee, is my lovely wife, my co-host, overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson, and our producer, Andy Lara. To us, as we always do, we cheers. Mel has already pounded her Gibraltar from Public Square Coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you guys, Mel took a risk on the top today.
Straight from Nashville.
Straight from Nashville. Mel.
Yeah, I got a new top.
Yeah.
It's flowy.
It's flowy.
It's a half top.
It's a half top.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look like a half top. It looks like it covers everything.
The sleeves are quite long.
The sleeves are quite long. The sweevies are quite long.
What it lacks in length, it makes up for in sleeve length.
Yeah, total like cloth wire denim here.
So they cut it from here and put it here.
Yeah, this is an extra large shirt. This like total cloth. If this were a properly formatted shirt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone came up to me and was like, "We like when you talk about Melissa's outfit. It's our favorite part of the podcast." At the top, and you make fun of Mel, or not make fun of her, because I think you dress very cool. You have what dumb shirt and hat am I going to wear this week? And Mel has to make real choices and risks out here, and you look cool every week. Very cool.
Thanks.
And this is a half top.
I try to not. I try, like you, to, thrift. You know, I'm not trying to just,
we do a lot of thrifting.
Buy, the cheapest tops and just throw them in a landfill. Mm-hmm. So I do try to vary it because I think you need stuff that pops and, is colorful.
Yeah.
But also you're trying to be, mindful of your consumption. So, anyway, this is what it is this week.
No, it works. It works. And it does kind of look like something a dad would throw in the garage to turn into a rag to wash the car. One of those.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember that?
This is a new shirt rag.
Remember when Dad would turn the rags into garage rags?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you? All right.
The shirts became garage rags.
The shirts became garage rags. It's the highest compliment to a shirt that it stays in the rotation.
Yeah.
It's like when a pair of shoes becomes your lawn shoes. You're like, I like you enough.
Or painting shoes.
Mm-hmm. I like you enough to keep you in the rotation. I'm not going to get rid of you.
I know. We go through this. I'm at the point where I'm just going to buy the same pair of shoes again.
100%.
Because I have these Adidas Stan Smiths.
Yes.
And, I've been doing back to school shopping with the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm just going to buy them again.
Yeah.
I need a shoe to walk in, and the old ones have been walked in too much.
Yep.
I'm not branching out. I don't even have to go in and try it on. I know it's going to fit.
My favorite part of adulthood is knowing exactly what I want. I have ordered the same two pairs of jeans for 5 years.
Since the book cover shoot. Yeah. And that is a privilege because women's jeans have changed so much.
Well, so have men's jeans. I just haven't.
No,
because I've reached a stage in my life and career.
That's true. I know some women are still rocking the skinny jeans. I'm just saying, it was a big shift.
Yeah.
For women.
Well, you've chosen.
Yeah.
To
somewhat stay.
To stay relevant.
You're right.
And I have not.
Right.
I
know, but men aren't wearing as extreme. Different pants as
agreed
jeans as women are.
Agreed. No, men have been rocking the same jeans since the 80s. We've been,
Sometimes they get looser. But I just mean there's all these new kinds. I can't even remember the names. It's like cuff jeans and barrel jeans. Women are going crazy with their pants.
No,
right
I
now.
agree. Women's
fashion.
I almost said women's bottoms, and that's not where I want this to go. We are a clean podcast, a newly acquired podcast by a clean podcast network, no less. I don't want this to be Dustin's discussion of women's bottoms. It's not where I will say, though, women's jeans, is that how I should put it?
Or pants.
Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah. I don't want women to wear pants.
Yeah.
personally. It's a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Joke.
Yeah, women's jeans, they're shapeshifters. They're all over the place. Seems exhausting to wake up as a woman one day and be like, hey, what length
There's
and
like
cut?
10 different styles that you can do right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So.
Any given time of your life, you wake up as a woman and go, what length and cut and color and like fit?
The waist.
Yeah.
And then the cuff. And
what are we doing today?
Length and the width.
What are we doing today? We're doing above belly button, cut off at mid-calf.
Yes.
Tight or loose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tighten the waist, loosen the calf? Okay. They make that? Now. Where's that thing? What are we doing? Capris are back. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Okay, we're doing tight in the, we're doing loose in the waist, tight in the calf. Each leg a different color. What? It changes
like loose in the knee, but tight in the
loose in the knee,
ankle.
Tight in the ankle. What? Pantaloons?
It's too much.
It changes constantly.
Yeah.
Holes from shin to thigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing now? Okay, MC Hammer pants. All right.
Well, and just when you throw away like your 5 pairs of skinny jeans, then they're gonna be back.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's
stuff.
Because you also age during this time as normal human beings. You can't just hold on to those.
Or you had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's a lot of work.
That's when you watch
women's fashion.
I mean, I constantly stand in awe of women, and particularly biologically. But when you watch the Olympics and they say things like we were watching yesterday, and they say things like, yeah, she's back from maternity leave.
Yeah.
And he said, like, and a lot of time they get a boost after that. And I'm like, excuse me?
This was about a track star.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. Track hasn't started yet, so I think it was probably in the middle of the night last night.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Watching some highlights.
I don't know. I don't even understand what that means. Of that, you could have a baby, like go through maternity leave and then come back faster. I was like, was she running with the baby? Like that's my
possibly.
Yeah. Was she running pregnant
in the last year?
That baby's in there, like, man, we are really moving. Woo! Mom is quick. Whoa. we are really bouncing around.
I just saw, like, it was just a video meme the other day of, like, showing, like, some mom spinning around. Yeah. And then it showed a baby in, like, a washing machine, like, on the inside.
I think about that with some of those, like, crazy, like, these CrossFit moms that go pregnant. And at a certain point, when your mom's doing those crazy injure yourself pull-ups.
The jerk.
Yeah. Do you ever think the baby's just like, dude, mom, chill, man. I'm going to be out of here in like a week. Are you trying to shake me out? Just let me relax in here. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for tuning into our what we call the little podcast that could. We are so thankful to have you guys as backseaters. It's been a really cool week for us. Busy bees. Busy bees.
Busy.
Busy, sweevy weevies. Mel's real silly right now, which is great because she was not silly yesterday. But some coffee and a beach walk. You ever been to the beach? It's great.
I didn't go all summer.
I know. Well,
alas, we're on airplanes.
Why to go to the beach when you can go to Iowa? Is what I've always said.
That's right.
See some family. Shout out Moffats. We had a good time seeing that. They're not even our family. You know what I mean. Family. Picking up chickens. That's my Drew Holcomb. Guys, narrowed in. We have 2 episodes, a new outro, 2 behind the scenes to do. I got to stay focused.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop distracting me with your flowy little half shirt.
My bad.
Sweevy weevies. And but it's been a really fun week. And so any of you guys who are just joining us from now that we are officially part of the Nateland Podcast Network, and the growing empire, you know, the mogul that is Nady B, as I call him. And you guys can call him that too if you want. I don't know actually if you can. I don't know. Here.
I don't know.
Let me FaceTime him and we'll ask. He doesn't answer my calls, so you can call him that because he won't know. But anyways, we're thankful to have you guys here.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get to know us a little bit, I suppose. You can go back through some old episodes. We used to history of our podcast. We started like 2017, 2018.
Started, right around there.
Recording. First episode was with comedian Vicky Barbalak. She was our first episode. We were a good old-fashioned interview podcast back in the day. And that
was when Vicky was in the AGT top 3 or something.
It was great. We had it was fun. No, that was actually before she did.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had her on again later.
Yeah.
In her rise, and we were fun. We had a good time. We've always been about family, but we talked to various comedians and authors and public figures and whatnot about their lives and family life. And then during COVID, I didn't love having to track down guests.
Well, you loved live guests.
Yes.
And then everything was on Zoom. Yeah. The Zoom ears.
I did love some live guests, but I also don't love coordinating with guests and when are you going to be here.
But like of your interview podcasts, like 99% of them are live. Like, yeah, they're not Zoom.
No, and they're fun. The ones I think back really fondly of the ones with like John Crist when I was on the road with him, and Tim Hawkins and I do one while we're driving
in a bus,
a car. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
that's so funny.
Angela Johnson's was great, and there was just some really good ones with Zoltan. Chinadu Naka's was really funny. There's a couple with Taylor over the years. I think Taylor ended our last guests, and we did a couple after that, Pete Lee and stuff. It's just here's the thing: if someone is in town, and it works out to have them in here, great, love to do that. But during COVID, everything shut down, and we were kind of trying to do some Zoom ones, and then we started a thing called the COVID Chronicles, and I was just like, I like doing this with you anyways. A, it's different. It's different than the other podcasts. But B, I talk differently to you than anybody else, and I talk differently to you than I do on stage. And there's a different side of me.
Different side of Dustin.
Then way sillier, way loosey. Well, I'm like your sleeves.
Yeah.
Look at these things. Just flowing.
Organic.
And I wanted to introduce my world to you, how funny you are, how silly, lovely, great laugh you are. Our podcast, is a funny podcast about family, but it's essentially an hour of me trying to make Melissa laugh. It's usually kind of the goal of what we're doing here. So people go who like longer podcasts. I'm sorry. We don't. I don't got that in us.
We're short form.
I mean, look at Mel's tense already. We're 13 minutes in. She's sitting folded arm.
I'm ready to hit dates, but
I see Mel's already like, this is taking a... Anyways, we will do our best to fill you in, new listeners, about what our bits are. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like when we set up our segments. Because one day we're going to say something like bingo dingoes, and you're going to be like, what is a bingo dingo? And I hope to remember at the time to tell you what that is, but I might not, and I bet you'll catch up pretty quick. So I also want to thank you. I just wanted to give a special thank you to all the backseaters over the years. This is
the OGs.
The OGs, the Patreon, the patrons. It's just been fun to grow with you guys, and like our Facebook group, the Dustin Nickerson Comedy Fans, has had a nice boost this week and growing.
Yep.
So it's when people say like couldn't have done it without you. There is a reality to that, because without a grassroots and a solid fan base, Nate Land thing doesn't happen, because there's no reason for us to be brought on. We could have been the funniest podcast in the world, but without any fans.
To be proven.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Get acquired.
Exactly.
And so the ticket sales and the downloads and the patrons.
All helps.
It all helps.
The reviews.
So.
I forgot I got a review.
And friends bringing friends back.
Oh gosh,
after you've come through their city.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So
best form of of
and reviews like this from
fandom.
Teak6. My kind of people and parents. 5 stars. Love you guys. I relate to your parenting styles so much. It takes a team to make it all work, especially with odd work schedules. And it's refreshing to hear another couple going through the same stuff. Dustin, you are hilarious. Mel, can we be friends? You are fabulous. Keep it up, guys. So please leave us reviews on Apple or wherever you listen to the podcasts. Just subscribe on YouTube to Nate Land and us and all of the above. So I want to give a also very special thank you to Andy. Andy, this has been a lot of work for you.
Yeah.
And
I've seen the emails and the texts.
In all the good ways.
Yeah. So Andy pursued us, guys. Andy slid into my DMs one day and was like, "Do you need a video guy?" And I did. We had a wonderful producer, Stephen English, who sent me a very funny text, actually, about all of this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I forgot to tell
Steven's following?
Steven's following the moves.
Okay.
Steven and I still text fairly often.
He's still as hilarious as ever.
He said, "I'd say congrats, but I need to be salty about being fired for a few more days until I'm in a good enough headspace to say it." And the reality is that Stephen, of course, was not fired. Stephen went to grad school. Stephen has taken over his parents' company. Stephen's doing great.
Yeah.
And
Stephen with the MBA and the third kid on the way.
And we were, a year and a half ago, were kind of like, hey, it's time to try and dump some stuff, more effort into this pod. Particularly video. We got
the space.
Yeah, so we got the space. We got Andy. Andy came to us, and Andy, it's as good as this podcast hopefully looks on your resume. It being a part of Nateland helps much more.
Yeah.
So we're honored to be a stepping stone, is what I'm saying, Andy. But thanks for all your work.
We were a good investment. It worked out.
It did. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's mutually beneficial, and I don't know that we're gonna graduate. I know you want the big room. I know you want.
Yep, you're eyeing it. It's open now.
If we start to get if we have an episode that has 3 or 4 ad reads in it, because we're in between ads now with the new Switch and stuff, then Andy, sooner than later we might be in a big room. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nate
I don't know.
just got a new podcast studio.
Mel can let our plants die in a different room.
This is a healthy plant.
Yeah, what about that one over there? It matches your hair.
July fry.
July fry.
July fry.
And July fry is a thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, also thank you to the patrons. Great Zoom hang. If you don't know our Patreon, it's just a way to get a little more out of the pod and give a little more. Monthly Zoom hang is always a highlight. We talked a lot of museum stuff. Best museums in the country.
Yeah.
Meet and greet at shows. We had a few of those. And we did one in Nashville.
Indy?
I wasn't in Indy. I was in Fort Wayne. We'll talk about that. Well, Chicago. Didn't we? We've got fans out there. Discount on merch, posters, stuff going out in the mail, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. You get
behind the scenes
stuff, early access to the pod,
early announcements.
Though I don't know how we're gonna have to ask them about that. I don't know if we can release the pod early now that it's not on our page.
But
interesting
we do,
thought.
Besides the behind the scenes, that will stay.
The behind the scenes will stay. Oh, also, by the way, we're a Thursday podcast now.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. It's we're and that's because Nateland's on Wednesday, and we don't want to boom because we're coming out of the same channel. So, all right, that's a lot of business, a lot of housekeeping stuff. Let's get to some self-promotion, guys. We got live upcoming shows. Live stand-up comedy. That's what really pays the bills around here. If you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I'm going to be there too on August 8th. So August 8th, Atlanta into Charleston, Asheville, and Charlotte. 16th through 17th, Omaha. SF in Sacramento, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. San Antonio, Houston.
Oh, you forgot Sac.
Sac. I said that. I said Sac in there. I did. I said,
I
put them together, Melissa.
Don't
interrupt me.
Messed up your flow.
I'll turn into you before the beach walk yesterday. You were in a real funk, Mel. What was going on?
Dude, you were in the middle of dates. I told you what was going on.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, then we're into September and such. Houston, Dallas, Tacoma, Milwaukee. The rest of the fall, Boston, Appleton, Austin, Louisville, Salt Lake City, Oxnard, Bakersfield, Springfield, Raleigh, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Spokane. New date on sale here, everybody, 12/27 through 29. Phoenix, Arizona, back at the Desert Ridge Improv. Into the new year, we've got Indianapolis, St. Louis. More dates coming, as always. We've got a Denver coming on sale soon. I think we're going to be doing La Jolla. I think I'm going to do my first weekend at the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Nice.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's all happening. Everything's good. I mean, bad stuff's happening, too. It's all, Do you ever think about when you're watching the Olympics, the people that, lose?
Yes.
Yeah, I think about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think there's a lot of them that are just, the goals are so different when you go to the Olympics? There are some people that was their whole goal, was to make the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And they got in and they're lost, but they're an Olympian their whole life. And then there's other people who
want the medal.
That want the medal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a former Olympic athlete.
No. I think it's it's very, it's like a soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the parents in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I'm I see them all on that ship.
Yeah.
I'm you guys, I hope you had your vitamin C today. And I hope your flight went well. And you're going to be able to sleep in that little makeshift village.
Yeah.
We
watched the Olympics.
It all stresses me out.
Yeah. What were you saying about we were texting about it, watching the Olympics as adults.
Yeah, I was it's raining. Are you warm enough on that boat? You better not get sick.
What boat? I don't know what boat you're talking about.
Okay, so at the opening ceremonies, all the athletes were on boats coming down the river. And it was raining.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And the boats were very full.
That is not what people were talking about from the
I know. But
opening ceremony.
Usually they're just walking around a track stadium.
Yeah.
And they were these were very full boats.
Yeah.
And everyone was hyped and they were taking selfies and they were making social media videos. And I was you guys need to get back to the village and rest. But
very practical.
So excited.
This is an interesting thing that Andy just pulled up. There was an article that went around for how much money you win if you. Whoa.
Who's the real loser?
Wow.
So if you win a medal, your country gives you money.
But not Great Britain.
In the U.S., if you get a gold medal, you get $37,000.
Right.
In Hong Kong, you get $769,000.
Oh, man. Gosh. I love to see that we respect our gold medalists as much as we respect our teachers.
Wow. Well,
all right. Well, that's discouraging. But in the U.S.'s defense, we win a lot more medals. We
Yes.
No, but what about their whole life, with their, they get these brand endorsements.
That's true.
But
you can make more money.
Their job is to train as an athlete, and who's paying for that? That's kind of what.
Well, if they're an Olympic level athlete, I would think that there's sponsors, and then you're being paid they're pros, right?
No, I understand what you mean, but
I don't know how money at the Olympics works, so I'm not going to pretend.
For example, our daughter was canoeing, and they had boats and boat houses and boat transportation, and then you got hotels and flights, and you assume that the families are making a lot of sacrifices, for this endeavor. So I'm just saying, in general, some of these athletes, they got to work, or they got to.
You're right.
Yeah,
it's so different. You watch the Olympics so differently as an adult.
You do.
Because I remember watching as a little kid, and I would watch.
You're this is a logistical nightmare.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would watch Michael Johnson, and I'd be like, this is the coolest person that's ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, he broke the 400. Remember the 4x4? Where they annihilated the world record and stuff. And now I watch it as an adult, and I watch some kid win a bronze medal, and I'm like, well, now what does he do with his life?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Parlay. Yeah.
This kid's 26, got his bronze. He's forever a bronze medalist. But now what does he do? He doesn't get football money. He can't go open a car dealership. What does he do? What does he do?
Well, does he train another 4 years and do it again, or does he?
I don't know. And how good do you have to be?
Or you
like
become
Simone?
a coach?
Yeah.
You become a coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Simone's a celebrity.
That's what I'm saying. Simone is rich. Simone is a celebrity. But Simone is also a top 10, I don't know, Olympian of all time.
And she's kind of a first name. You know, we're talking about her like, you don't have to say Simone Biles.
Exactly.
But she has like a gym and she's pouring back.
She's traveling. They're doing like a touring show right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But name another one. I don't know any of the gymnasts.
No, there's definitely stars.
Yeah.
You know, which is interesting. But I was thinking their outfits are so sparkly this year.
Yes, very sparkly.
Like, and I told you, she looks like the sparkly troll in
Trolls.
In Trolls.
Yeah.
Like, just like bedazzled.
Mm-hmm.
It's like over a pound that they're carrying on their leotards. It's crazy.
It's a lot. And you would think about that because being a parent watching the Olympics, I'm more tense watching the parents than the athletes.
Yeah. It's too much. Yeah. You're just like watching them like stress out.
No, because they're not watching their kids compete. They're watching the culmination of 15 to 20 years of travel and money and hard work and early mornings. It's just culminating. And no matter what, they're going to be proud and happy. They just want the result. You want your kid to win. Of course you want your kid to win. More so you want it to be over. You just want it. I would have a panic.
Traveled around the world.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd have a panic attack watching my 10-year-old pitch. And you're watching your 22-year-old perform at the Olympics. It's so crazy tense.
They always pan to the parents. It's my favorite, but it's so nerve-wracking.
It's better than anything on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't sit. I don't know how they sit. I would be like, you wouldn't see me on that video. As I'm true. Like in the aisles like
You as an Olympic parent would be very funny. They're like
I'd be like
pacing.
Yeah.
Mom's pace cam. Everywhere there you go. Yeah.
But the level of commitment. I mean, it's insane. And you see the young athlete and then you see their parents and you're like, those are just two normal people.
Just two normal people who just
it's very like
who had a kid,
grounding.
Had a kid,
you know,
who had a really strong breaststroke out the womb, and was like, that kid's got a future.
So, it is very
that one. It's that one, right?
Breaststroke, yes. Yeah. No, I think watching the parents is the most interesting part.
That's a grown-up thing, though, because I don't even remember the parents. You know, I just remember. It also, the Olympics change as you get older, because you go back and watch that Carrie Strug thing, and you're like, should she have done that?
I mean, gymnastics has changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's really changed.
Yeah.
I mean, and some of them will talk about it, like on social media.
Yeah.
Dominique Moceanu is one that talks
the Fab Five, right?
Fantastic Seven and the Fab Five.
Oh,
I think in the 90s it was the Fantastic Seven. Because it used to be the team score was different.
The Fab Five.
I think it's
was
5
the
now, but
University
it used to be
of
7.
Michigan. Yeah, there could be multiple Fab Fives, but
yeah.
It was
the 90s.
It was I had a real crush on Shannon Miller. There was Shannon Miller, Dominique Moceanu.
There's two Dominiques.
Dominique Dawes, right? Is that right?
I think it was Dawes. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yes, it was. And then Carrie Strug. Now I feel terrible. We're 4 in. And there's 3 more
And
athletes.
there's no way we could know. Nobody has Google in front of us.
Well, now I just feel bad. I forgot about the other 3.
I mean, you haven't thought about it in a while.
Fantastic Seven.
I think you had it there. Was it the Fantastic Seven?
I used to be able. I cut out all the newspaper articles about these women. I made a mini.
The Magnificent Seven.
I made a scrapbook.
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, scroll up.
Dominique's.
There we go. This is the names. The Shannon Miller, Dominique Moceanu, Dominique Dawes, Carrie Strug, Amy. Yeah, I never knew those. Anyways.
Okay, it does say the other 3 members were Les Harold.
Oh, that's in the Wikipedia.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, we got it right.
Well,
Shannon Miller, Dominique Moceanu, Dominique Dawes, Carrie Strug. No, I never knew those other ones. So.
Well, the scoring is super unique because there's the team scoring all around, and then there's the individual. I don't even get it.
Right.
But like I know right now the top 2 had to place to get the individual. You know, it's because you can only send 2, but like in the American gymnasts, the females, like the top, there were 3 that were like like a 100th of a point apart.
Interesting. I think part of the reason that these ones were so successful too is because this Olympics was in America, was in the U.S., and we could watch them live.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
It does make a difference because you can tune in. You can watch it as it happens.
We'll get up in the middle
World
of the night
Cup fans, because soccer
watch.
fans are the best fans in the world, but people will get up. World Cup fans, I've set alarms at 2 a.m. on the road to get up and watch the U.S. lose. But it does make a difference when you can't, because it's hard to be like, what's going on? When's the gold medal? When's she flip for gold? That's what I want to know. And they do have. People do what to watch is, but you really, I hate to say this, but I want to know, when can I watch an American compete to see if they're going to win for gold in an event I like to watch? Because like we turned on live stuff yesterday, and there was a Norwegian going down some rapids, and we made it 30 seconds. Is this guy a world-class athlete? Of course he is.
I do feel bad when I scroll. You're like, nope, give me the good stuff.
Give me the goods.
But there's something I was gonna say about this. I'll find it in a sec.
Time zones makes a difference. Watch it.
Gymnastics, it's right there. I lost it.
We're fickle.
But you're never gonna know who's gonna be the Jamaican bobsled team.
That's true. You know? Shout out John Candy.
Yes.
I did a podcast. I rewatched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is my favorite movie.
Live on the podcast.
Live on the podcast, which is coming out soon. And he does, they go in the hotel room and they get drunk and they're like, where are you going next? And he does a Jamaican, and he does the accent. I was like, that's a little foreshadowing to his future movie. I mean, it's not meant to be, but well, anyways, watch the Olympics, guys. It's great. It's very stressful though. It's very stressful to watch as a parent.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
We wanted to we didn't do our weekend recap. We got so much to talk about. We haven't done the pod in 2 weeks, which means Melissa and I haven't spoken in 2 weeks.
Well, it has been a busy summer.
Do you want to talk about your funk on the beach yesterday?
No. No, I just, you know what?
I know you don't.
My weekend recap is.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
We all kind of had these mini colds that we were getting over, and then my electricity went out in the middle of the night. And then I had to spend a whole day waiting for the electrician to come over. And it was just brutal. But I had the saving grace was the AC was on and the fridge was on. Yeah. But it still sucks.
That's some real silver lining thinking right there, by the way. Like, that's a crazy, but the bright side is, you're like, dude, your power went out and there were sparks. And you're like, at least the fridge is okay.
The girl slept on the couch. It was like a whole thing. And then I opened up the fridge to feed the cats, and I was like, oh, my gosh, this is on.
Yeah, that's huge.
Just like the one outlet in the kitchen that was working was the fridge.
You went through, it was tough.
Ups and downs.
I'm just teasing. I know. You had every right to be.
Well, it's just also the back-to-school prep. It's just... We have our own version of the Olympics, is that our daughter's trying out for a high school volleyball team.
That's true,
and she needs rest and to stay out of the rain.
Yeah.
And it is nerve-wracking.
That's very true.
It affects her high school, experience. So you're like, make sure you're not going to too many sleepovers.
I think when our kids were, there was a stage of life where your kids going back to school were just like, oh, the relief. Let's celebrate. And now, maybe it's as they get older, you're like, it's a ton of prep to get them back to school, which has always been the case. But you have to buy more.
No, it wasn't. It was literally like, can you tie your shoes and do you have a lunchbox?
Yes.
Like when they're little.
Well, because there's no fashion. You're like, hey, let's go get you a few Pokemon shirts and from Old Navy.
Do your shoes work?
Is
your backpack broken?
And you get to do school supply shopping, which is actually kind of fun. That one's kind of fun. And then off you go. And now the 12, a 10, 11, 12, 13 older, they're like, hey, I need a full wardrobe change. New wardrobe, new backpack, new personality.
You're buying full-size clothes. Yeah. You're buying adult shoes and
they like
the sports gear.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I switched my genre of person over the summer.
Yes. So now you need to accommodate that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got a cool grand sitting around because I need new clothes, new which that's not what.
No, it's just
that's what they want.
Their preferences are like they're not designer, but you know they would prefer the.
Well, and you don't get you know, you don't. There's a lot of kids you don't get to a mall, and then they're like, because then you know our girl specifically, she'll be like, you'll be back to school shopping. She's like, also I need some lotion from Bath and Body Works. I'm like, this is not what we're here for.
Yeah. She does that a lot.
They're like, I'd like to show up. I'd like to get a boba for the shopping, and then a little Wetzel snack just so I'm not famished, and then we can. You're like, okay, so we're already $20 in.
Oh yeah.
No school supply bought.
No, it's like we're not buying necklaces today. Yeah, she'll say that. She'll be like, I'll have a bare neck if I don't get a necklace. I'm like,
then buy a turtleneck.
Shoes and jeans, you know.
I'll have a bare neck is very funny.
And a backpack.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's a lot of negotiation, and I did tell her, I was like, you're out of money, and now you can just thrift.
Yeah.
Like if you buy some secondhand shirts and sweatshirts, I have bought you all the new stuff that you were getting. So, but it, you know, it's good. She's the hardest, and I kind of finished her. So
good.
But it's just, I mean, just like as kids get older, like our son's future rides on his senior year, you know, and you're like, you know, these are your decisions.
I mean,
yes,
your
and no.
Life. Let's not get too hyperbolic there.
It's not. It does.
Your life is not determined by your senior year in high school.
No, that's true. But the next 5 to 10 years are.
I would say your next 2 years are absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're just like, hey, you know, you're about to be grown up. So.
Yeah. Please try.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, with certain kids, you're like, I don't doubt the effort or the skill and the ability. Please try. Please, 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 please give this everything that you can. You'll be so glad that you did. I promise.
But it's their decision.
It's their decision.
That's the hard part. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of shopping and back to school shopping.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if this is just me, or I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like Target customer service has really gone downhill.
You know what? If you go in the store, everyone is just bringing stuff to the cars outside the store. That beep beep is like beep beep the whole. Yeah. You're waiting in line and they're like, I can't help you because I have to bring this stuff to the people waiting in their cars outside.
Yeah, you walk into a Target, they're like, why are you inside? We don't want you in here. Stay in your car.
Do the order pickup.
Yeah, because then the aisles are full of people doing the big shopping. Like, you know, what are they called? Like like people are loading up carts in the aisles.
I know,
like Instacart.
Instacart and stuff.
Instacart and then the order pickup. And
so there's a bunch of people in there who are not helping you.
They won't make eye contact.
They won't make eye contact.
Beep, beep. They got to go outside.
I wish my kids would know a world where Target was good at customer service, but that world doesn't exist anymore.
Back when Target had popcorn.
Take me back to the days of Target popcorn and eye contact.
And slushies.
And I don't need you to go out of your way to bend over backwards for me. Just please, this is a big store. This is a big store. And you know what they like to tell you, too, is look on the app.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm in here because I didn't want to use the app because I don't have the app. I just need to find your travel size section. Please, where is your travel section? I just need a little baby deodorant.
Well, what happened is you lost your toiletry bag.
So I had to go, which you can do, and I just please give me a chance. Just give me a chance for eye contact and help. I know where the flat screen TVs is. Everybody knows where those are. They're in the back.
The electronics section.
Everybody knows where the electronics section is.
Directly in the back. Yeah.
It's like they took all of their money out of training customer service stuff, and they put all of their money into the worst camera that takes the worst picture of you ever at checkout.
Self-checkout, yeah.
No one has ever looked worse. No one has ever looked worse than in the the Target self-camera checkout. You're like, oh gosh, what filter is that? Is that zombie filter? I haven't.
It's the worst angle imaginable.
It's like they expect you to be shoplifting, so they kind of make you look like a criminal.
Yeah, I guess that's why they have it.
Everybody looks guilty of something. Everybody, like if you took
up to no good.
Everybody's up to no good. Everybody you look up there and you look like you lost a fight. You lost a fight with life. You look terrible. I've never looked worse in there. I was like, how do I look like skinnier and fatter at the same time? My proportions are all off. It's like a carnival mirror.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you're like, what? It's like lower res but higher def on the somehow on the you're like a bump there? Oh. I didn't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well,
I guess
now I'm questioning everything.
Yeah, I guess I'll do pickup order. That's why they did it. I understand now. They're like, we're gonna make them look so bad in the self-checkout camera. They'll never come in this store again.
Never. I think those employees dream about the beep beep.
Yeah.
That's like the alert when someone parks in the self-checkout or the self-pickup. I bet they dream.
Yeah. It's a different era. And you know what? For the record, I don't blame the Target employee.
You know, the irony is that I had to go back and return that toiletry bag.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So
There's
one thing I'll do. I will return something to Target.
Yeah. And I want to make sure this is in the clip, and this will always be a part of it. For the record, I never blame the employee. I always blame the company. Target, this is on you.
They're overextended.
Yes.
They're overextended.
Well, it's just
with this parking lot pickup thing. Yeah.
Well, anyways. We had a great time in Nashville, by the way, for those of you who heard us on the Nate Land podcast. That was Mel was there for 36 hours. Those shows in the South were fantastic. Huntsville, which is a great little club. Thanks for coming out. People bring me gifts now every once in a while, which was great. A guy brought me a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, which was amazing. Thank you for that. So cool. That's awesome. Yeah, it was great. Huntsville's a very cool little city, and I will come back there. I've reached a point where we'll talk about this next week when I talk about Fort Wayne a little bit. I like everywhere I go. There's not really a city in America there's some that I love to go to. Like when Chicago's on the calendar, I'm like, yes. But I don't know, man. I think the thing with like Huntsville and like Fort Wayne and, these Fort Collins, any of the forts, I like a city based around a fort. Yeah. Fort Worth. Fort Nisqually. They're just normal humans. I just like the cities tend to be a little more unpredictable of what my crowds are going to be like because cities are eccentric. I don't know what I'm going to get in Nashville. Am I going to have a bachelorette party? Am I going to have a big group of people with one political leaning one way or the other? And that's fine if they do. But I just, when you roll into the Huntsvilles of the world, you're like, these are just people with jobs. And I perform for people with jobs. People who have normal jobs and an employer and get a check in there. I don't perform for influencers. I don't perform for streamers. I just people who watch a game and go and get up at 7 a.m. to drive to North County to take their kids to some tournament for some sport of some sort. Just normal humans. And even the cities have the normal humans, but you get what I mean. So I had a great time in Huntsville. Huntsville's such a unique city because you put NASA in the middle of Alabama, and it's awesome. I love Huntsville. People are like, will you come back? I was like, I hope I get huge in Huntsville. I want Huntsville to be an A market for me. My goals now are like, I want to sell better in these side cities than I do the main ones. I'm like, I want to sell more tickets in Huntsville than I do Denver. I love Denver too. I like all the places. I've said this. I live where you want, do the things that you want to do. It's all great. It's all the same.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I love Huntsville. Huntsville's great. And then Nashville was fantastic. I mean, real highlight of that is there's a Buc-ee's right on the way. And Alec Parent was out opening for me. We have some really funny clips coming from the Huntsville show in particular. That it was a very funny show. And there was a guy, I'm not going to, I have funny crowd work moments coming. There was a guy in the front who had a very eccentric outfit on. And I was like, are you wearing a bow tie? And I was like, he's like, no. And I go, no. And he goes, no. And he shook his head no. I was like, I got a scarf? And he goes, no. And he goes, no, it's an ascot. And I was like, amazing. In Alabama.
Wow.
I love this city. It's just a perfect cross section. Is that what I want? Yeah, of people. So anyways, and then Nashville is fantastic. We almost sold out all 3 shows there. I mean, Nashville is just an important comedy city right now, and it's been an important comedy city for me. It's just one of my top markets as far as sales, and it's really Lucy at the club there and Brian Dorfman have just been building, and I've been touring Nashville for years. So, I mean, when did I do the Ryman with John? I think that was my first time. No, I flew out and I did
that CCA thing.
I did a one-nighter with Nate there years ago where I flew out and did the gig. Oh, and I did the CCA thing. So I've been touring Nashville for years, but
and Zanies has a new comedy
small room. Yeah, I'm back there doing a private gig in a couple weeks, but it's just great. I'm so thankful for people coming out to shows and the Nashville, like, I don't know. You've been like 4 times now, right?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's just nice to walk to that stage and have people there excited to see me and what we're doing and resonate with us and selling. It's really fun. I'm very, very grateful. And thanks for continuing to grow there, Nashville and Huntsville. And then you came out and we did the Nate pod. So a little behind the scenes on that. Adrian, who kind of oversees that creative world, I think this was Nate's idea, actually. I don't know. They're like, what if it was your guys' podcast and you kind of host them? And it was very funny because my first thought when they said this was I was very thankful because this is a good commercial for what we are as a pod, because even though we're both clean and family friendly, we are a very different type of podcast.
Types of podcasts.
Yeah. And I was like, this is going to be great because this will be a good commercial for us. And not everybody who loves Nateland will love us and vice versa. But you see in the first 30 seconds of our podcast, pacing, we are a very different podcast than the Nateland podcast. I had a friend describe the Nateland podcast as the 4 guys in King of the Hill when they sit and talk. And I think that's so funny. And so accurate of what they are. And it's great, and it works. And it's a big
it's so funny.
And it's so funny.
So,
it's very great.
Yeah,
and they have a great dynamic. We're a husband and a wife going, this is what's going on in our life. We're fast-talking city folk, and, we get moving. So when Nate called it out at the very beginning of like, wow, you really come out of the gate hot there.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you for acknowledging. Because we are particularly rapid in my intro.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying the same
let's
intro.
Get to it.
Yeah. I've been saying the same intro for how many ever years now. So.
Somebody was like, I could say it.
Oh, yeah?
In the comments was like, oh, I know the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they could do it.
I'd love to hear. So. I want to see some impersonations of that on the Facebook group or something. Hey, everybody, welcome to my Yeah. Every once in a while I'm messing around, but anyways, I still feel bad for you still on the screen for these other 3 nobodies. Amy Chow, J.C. Phelps, and Amanda Borden. Yeah. So do they? If you don't know about it, do they? Yeah, they do. Absolutely. It's unbelievable. Congratulations on your accomplishment. It's so great. So we had a great time. And then it was a crazy week in that we got home on Monday, or because we do the pod.
Really late Monday.
You get there Sunday, hanging out in the green room. Sales are great. We have a good time in Nashville.
We decided the kids could do one night alone.
Yeah. Joel's almost a legal adult.
Yeah. He's 18 in May.
Yeah.
And we had enough scaffolding in place.
Scaffolding.
That's a ADHD word.
That's very funny.
We're like, this happens this time, this happens this
Yeah.
time. They pulled it off one night.
Yeah.
One night.
Yeah.
And,
there was one hiccup.
Yeah.
Joel, bless his heart. I love him. Joel was like left for a sleepover. And we're like, huh? And
at 10:10, he told his sister, I'm leaving for the night.
And we called him, and he was understandably upset. It was just a breakdown of communication. I was like, I'm sorry. No, we're out of the state, son.
Yeah, you got to go home.
Stuff happens in the middle of the night sometimes. That's why you're there.
I mean, the neighbors knew. Everyone.
There's an argument to be. They were very safe. There's an argument to be made that it's actually more important that he's there during the night than the day.
Yes.
But anyways.
Yeah, and I might have bribed our youngest to go to martial arts.
Hey.
In a moment of desperation.
Yeah, we're on the phone. She's like, I don't want to go. You know, ODD was doing its thing. And then you go, I was like, well, you can get a Slurpee. You can get anything. I was like, you can get some Roblox money. Some Robux or whatever they're called. And she goes, how much? And you go,
$25. This is just like we're returning our rental car.
Yeah.
And I'm just like in Price is Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like shouting from the passengers.
And it wasn't
$25.
The thing is, it wasn't a class. It was
a private lesson.
It was a private lesson. Yeah. So you had to go.
And you were like, I was gonna do 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, took it to 100.
Took it to 100.
Yeah.
I love that.
I didn't want our son to have to fight a kid to her activity.
No, that's not his job.
That's not his job.
No, that's not his job.
Anyway, we made it. We made it.
Unfortunately, as we were returning home, you kind of got sick, and we had a sick kid already, which was unfortunate because we were gonna go. We were gonna go to Universal because Aunt Tay, that's Taylor Tomlinson for the new listeners, had bought last year for my birthday our family season pass with parking. Very generous. Every time I say that to people, like adults with parking, they're like, whoa, the parking really, that is nice. That parking is nice. Family got sick and we got busy. And so we were going to go up because I got to do After Midnight again. So it was a crazy week of just fun taping, and we got more this week. I'm on this crazy lineup tonight at the store up in LA. I'm like, it's like Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino, Kumail is on the show, and Patton Oswalt. It's a lot of Disney money in the room. That's Ratatouille and Eternal. That's it's a lot of stuff on there. So
it's nice.
It is great. So, and then I've got the BuzzFeed taping tomorrow too. So, After Midnight was great. I love that show, and it's so fun to see my sister Tay. Season 1 wrapped. We weren't the final episode. We were the final day. They needed a few bigger stars than me for the other one.
Yes.
But it was me, Reggie Watts, who is so funny. Reggie is so unbelievably naturally funny. Like,
just the way he says stuff.
I know. I wish I had it in me, but I just sit and marvel. Just like, there's that, there's a very funny interview of Lovitz was on Burr's podcast, and they are good friends. They just make fun of each other a lot. And he says, like, I'm a comedian, you're a comic. You say funny things, I say things funny. And that's what I think about Reggie Watts is he can just, everything he says is funny. Just the way he says it is very funny. And he's and he's a crazy good musician too. Reggie Watts' Conan sets are legendary. And I brought that up to him. I was like, I think these are my favorite Conan sets ever. And I started quoting his jokes to him and stuff. So I think he'd like it. I think he appreciated it.
Yeah. And then
he goes, I've seen your stuff. Where have I seen your stuff? And he goes, wait a minute, what's your last name? And I go, yeah, that's the one. He goes, oh, yeah, you had that joke about your last name. And I'm like, yeah, it went pretty viral. That one was pretty big. And then Irene was on, and Irene's a friend, and it was great. That show's very fun, and I was so much more comfortable the second time. Yeah. And
that's what people said. That people said that it was a fun episode because you guys all knew each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't know Reggie yet, but Irene, Taylor, You guys were joking and
yeah.
You know.
I mean, I have a huge leg up on that show, and that I know the host very well. And
they put you next to her.
Both times they put I think they always will too.
Yeah,
because I'm the only one that consistently looks right on the show.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think you even watched the episode yet. There's I showed you some of the clips. I throw stuff at her in that episode. Like I throw a bunch of Tupperware. I throw the prize at her, and I got to renew my parking. I call her my rich bougie friend. Last episode I made fun of her. They were like, there was the dairy bit where they're like, well, tell me. And I was like, I think you're doing fine. You got your Netflix money and your late night show. I think you're doing all right. And I have seen comments where people are like, this is fun because we love Taylor, but he's the only one that makes fun of her. And I think it's good.
You've earned it. You guys,
and then she's. I've said this so many times about Taylor. We've gone well past the friend level. We're pretty deep into the sibling level, and that's why I can throw things at her. But she makes fun of me quite a few on it too. She's the clip. Did you see the clip? They're like, masculinity's in a going downhill. Just look at Dustin. I'm like, whoa. Whoa.
The writers wrote that.
The writers wrote that. Yeah. I was like. But that's another thing that they can have someone that Taylor gets to make fun of. So
the Google history one was dead on. Yeah.
All of ours. Yeah.
Well, just even between you and Tay.
Right.
It's just because the call-outs were so clear.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah. The Google history was very funny because I was like, Taylor.
Yeah.
Like I said, these are like the texts you send to me, and
that was great.
I thought mine was. I think if I wouldn't have went first, people might have gotten a little off the. Mine was the most kind of all over the place, but you know,
so fun.
My last time they did the Pokemon thing, which is to me will go down as my favorite moment of anything I ever do on television, which is I get outed as a guy who plays a lot of Pokemon Go, and you know what? If you're ever not sure if you see me somewhere, it's if I'm in public or in an airport tapping my phone, you say tickling my phone. Whenever you do a raid and you have to do that, you're like, I'm sorry, are you tickling your phone? Like, well, as I say, these Pokemon aren't going to catch themselves, Melissa. All right, let's do an email and get out of here.
All right.
Maybe two. We got 2 emails. We can do them in 3 minutes. 1, this is from Emily.
Hi,
Subject,
Emily.
Bucky's hits different. Hey, Dustin and Mel, love your show. Ironically, we also spent our 4th in Alabama visiting family. Bucky's has no business being that good. The people were very confused when we drove up in a Tesla Model X. We rented in Atlanta on the road trip. We were painfully obvious San Diegans on a mission trip to get brisket and swag. On a mission to get brisket and swag. Alabama in the summer can only be described as the air is trying to drown you.
Yes.
So muggy, so gross. I've never been happier to come home to San Diego. Take my rent check and give me good vibes at In-N-Out all day long. Keep up the great pod. Emily. There you go, Emily. Yeah, you know, as I say many times, live where you want to live. Do what you want to do. But yeah, Bucky's is great. The best argument against Bucky's is if it gives you a panic attack, I get it. It's a lot.
Well, I think especially 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about then is a lot of time Bucky himself is there.
It's true.
The Bucky.
It's the same as like Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just packed.
Yeah. And this is from Bonnie. Best friend of the pod. Subject, one of the best friends of the pod. Patreon, the whole thing. Subject, need bad advice from Bonnie. Hello, Nickersons. I was hoping that you guys could offer some bad advice on how millennial parents can reduce stress and how millennial moms can spend 3 times more time with their kids.
Oh, ooh.
Mel, how can the millennial parent reduce stress?
Well, they need to remember that their children's anxiety is their fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're giving bad advice right now. Yeah. Always remember when you see your kids struggle, that's your fault. Just embody that.
Internalize it, because
the
doctor, the psychiatrist, the teacher, the counselor, the principal, they will tell you.
Yes,
it's your
yes,
fault.
Yes,
it is your fault.
Yes, it is your fault.
And their separation anxiety and their school avoidance and their test anxiety, that's all your fault.
That's on you.
The mother's fault.
That's on you for eating too much salt when you were pregnant.
Yep.
Just always remember when you see struggles with your kids, it's the opposite of the end of Good Will Hunting. It is your fault. It is your fault.
If you spent time with them, that would decrease.
If your kid spent less time on screens, if your kid would just get on their bike and ride around the neighborhood like we did when we were kids, if you just waited till your kid was 21 to give them a phone, if you just hid the internet from your child till they were 30 years old and married, then your kid would have no struggles. Because you know what? Back in the day, we didn't have anxiety. Back in the day, our kids were never stressed or worried. And when they were down playing in the ravine, they never got beat up. And they never have trauma that they now worry about and internalize.
Fine. They're fine.
We are totally fine. And you can tell by how judgy we are. Just accept that the world is different and there are new challenges.
Hey.
It's okay if your kid gets on a screen every once in a while. Don't beat yourself up, parent. You're doing your best.
Just do your best.
Just do your best. And if you can't do your best by yourself, ask for some help.
And hopefully someone will help.
Yeah.
And not judge.
And it may or may not be your parents. I don't know what your home life is like, but don't judge. That's my message.
There's more than one way to be a good parent.
There's more than one. Yeah. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
That's pretty good, huh?
Where'd you pull that from?
It is not mine.
Oh, okay.
There's
also more than one way to be a bad parent.
Oh, you know what? It's the HR mom. The HR mom says that.
Oh, good. Hey, way to cite your source. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, folks, we just want to give a special shout out to our Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patron. That's our highest, second highest. Highest, and then there's an even higher. But you guys are great. You guys are great because you get a special shout out here at the end. So, special shout out to April Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Andy and Darlene Girton,
Bonnie Galliendo,
Brandon Schoenberger,
Carrie Teague,
Christopher and Bridget Finland,
Code to Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Stevens,
Daniel Owens,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Dustin Daly,
Jason and Francis White,
Jessica Hanrahan,
Jonathan Riviera,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Calslon,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Caroz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Stephen Mina,
and Tiffany Payne. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.